Oi, fatty! Yeah, you! Christmas is coming. Are you feeling like everyone with a hand has got it in your pocket? Feeling the pressure to go to Lapland? Not that Lapland, the snowy one with the reindeers and Santa Claus. Worried about how much it might cost? Shall we make a video about it so everyone can find out? That's right, Christmas is coming. And if you've got a family, at some point the conversation might come up that you'll run out of time for their kids to meet the real Santa Claus, and wouldn't it be nice if we could take them to Lapland to meet him before they get too old? Sounds expensive, right? Let's find out. Rovaniemi in Finland, just below the Arctic Circle, seems to be the place most people head for the Vegas Santa experience. And you can fly there direct from the UK. You can even do it in one day if you like. Fly in, bish bash bosh, bit of Santa action, fly home, cushy. But we decided against that for a few reasons. Most importantly, because if you've got to go through the ball ache of going to the airport, parking, sitting in departures for 2 hours, and then getting on a plane just to be squashed next to a person from the fat community for a few hours, I'd rather not have to repeat it all that soon. And I'd quite like at least a chance to have a look around the place I'm flying to. To fly straight to Rovaniemi and back on the dates we were travelling worked out at just over £1,000 in flights. So strangely, it worked out cheaper to fly to Helsinki for a night, which meant we could also have a look around Helsinki and have some dinner, stay in a hotel, and then take a domestic flight to Rovaniemi the next day. So we thought we'd do that instead. I booked flights from Stansted to Helsinki for £94 each, but once you've added on all the crap like seats and oxygen masks, it totaled about £454. And the parking at Stansted was a fairly reasonable £58. I haven't included fuel because, well, I don't know where you live, do I? Dummy. Once we landed at Helsinki airport, we took the airport train to Helsinki centre, which was only about €4 each and only €2 for the offspring. We had a wander around Helsinki, had dinner at a place called Bastard Burger, and I can tell you that it doesn't affect the flavour of the burgers one bit whether the burger's parents were married or not. After another little wander around Helsinki, we made our way to the hotel. Next morning, after some breakfast, we had a lovely leisurely walk back to the main station and got a train back to the airport. We were kind of sad to be leaving Helsinki, it's absolutely gorgeous, and we'd have liked to have spent more time there. Still, the frozen north was beckoning. Back at Helsinki airport, we boarded domestic flights to Rovaniemi, which I picked up for around £220 for the four of us. It's only a 1 hour 20-minute flight to Rovaniemi, which is more or less on the Arctic Circle. And it's the main Santa-themed tourist attraction town in Finland. We're not staying here, but don't worry, we'll check it out on the way back. For now, we've arranged a hire car so we can venture even further north to find Santa's house. The man at the car rental place was very apologetic that the Ford Fiesta I'd booked had been double booked and was no longer available. And would I be happy with an upgrade to a Mercedes C-Class? Oh yes, thank you. We drove 4 hours north through the stunning scenery and forest-lined roads and barely saw any other cars. Unbelievably, the temperature outside was minus 21 Celsius. With lights, those are the memories I still remember. Our destination was a little town way inside the Arctic Circle called Levi. We rented a little cabin in the forest for £225 for 3 nights, which even had its own sauna. We ventured into the local town for some dinner, and even found time to enjoy a drink in a pubic house. The next day we shook the kids out of bed early and headed down to the local snowmobile rental shop. Once I'd unsnowed the car, we rented some snowmobiles so we could venture deep into the frozen wilderness to go and find Santa's house and harass him at home. He'll never expect that! We'll be like those celebrity stalkers they have in Hollywood that just turn up at celebrities' houses, except we'll be harassing an old bearded recluse who lives in a forest miles from anywhere. He's always breaking into other people's houses, so it's about time he had a taste of his own medicine. Still, I didn't feel bad that we were going to doorstep him on one of his days off. He only works 1 day a year. He's living the dream! For some reason, you have to do the last 400 metres on a reindeer sleigh. I'm guessing Santa Claus doesn't like the sound of snowmobiles. It must be like jet skis for him. Either that or they scare his reindeers parked in the back garden. Turns out Santa wasn't annoyed at all that we just rocked up at his house. The kids had a nice chat with him and he read their letters that they posted to him. Then we left him alone. You have to wear a helmet with a reindeer sleigh, it's very dangerous. Now this snowmobile old people stalker trip was a bit pricey. It was around £475 for a half day. Obviously it's optional if you come out here, but we figured it was a once in a lifetime experience for the kids since we'd come all this way. And they loved it. It was a brilliant way to see the unspoilt, amazing Finnish landscape. When we got back I had to spend a freezing cold hour clearing snow off the drive to get the car out. And just as I'd finished, a bloke turned up in a snow clearing thing, whose job it must be to clear all the driveways and finish the last spadeful for me. Yeah, thanks. That's the face of a broken man right there. We spent a couple more days in the cabin in the woods doing snowy stuff and trying to avoid danger. I nearly broke my back diving onto a snow-covered boulder. Oh, it's a big rock! And my lad almost got run over during the morning rush hour commute. In the evening we found a little remote hut in the woods and we had a little fire inside and toasted marshmallows. I decided to be a proper roughy-tufty local and come outside after the sauna to roll in the snow whilst it was minus 20 degrees.
Stupid British tourist.
Yeah, you'd think it was a stupid idea and it was, but the kids found it very entertaining.
My fingers are sticking to the thing.
I got dressed and we took a drive up the road for a few miles and saw something that took the trip to the next level, the Northern Lights. On the last day I loaded up the Mercedes and we headed back through the beautiful countryside back down to Rovaniemi. This is where a lot of the tours to Finnish Lapland come. It's pretty busy and touristy compared to where we were and it was a lot like I imagined the Santa-themed Las Vegas would look like, except more elves and fewer Elvises. We didn't spend long here because we had to catch our flights back to the UK, which cost us £55 each. We ventured into Rovaniemi to find the last traditional Finnish dinner before flying home and ended up in a traditional Vietnamese restaurant. Spicy reindeer. So what did it all cost this trip out to meet a bloke who's coming to our house in a couple of weeks anyway? Well, the airport parking was £58, flights to Helsinki were £454. The hotel, Radisson I thank you, in Helsinki was £135. We spent €24 or £20 on trains. Flights to Rovaniemi with Norwegian cost us £230. The hire car was £193. Cabin in the woods for 3 nights was £225. The flights back to the UK were £245, which gives a grand total of £1,315. Thanks very much, Santa. The snowmobile ride to find Santa in the woods, if you can stretch to it, was £475. It is of course optional, but it was good. Before you go, can you do me a favour? If you are enjoying the channel, please could you hit the subscribe button. It's free and it'll help the channel more than you can imagine. And in return, I promise not to show me rolling around on the floor in my pants ever again. Is that fair? Thanks for watching and have a great Christmas.